pull attention away from them. And that's what I think Acadian does for Winterfox. Is Acadian's going to play these champions in top that you want to shut down, which allows ArcSecond not just to do his typical farming and play safe,
but someone can set him up.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if their jungler goes top, you get to bring your jungler mid and set up ArcSecond. You saw Shorter Ace do that, and I think that's really going to unlock this guy as having a different top laner for Winterfox. Yeah,
I think it could very much be a big deal here. So we are into picks and bans. The first ban, Rengar by Vortex. Yep, that is exactly what happens here. Ziggs and Sivir off the field, so a lot of champions you are not surprised to see gone. Meanwhile, Azir away from Bijou. Great Azir player, and of course Ryze, because it's 5-13. You should never let anyone get Ryze in 5.
And it's Ryze. Yep.
Yeah. 5-15 Ryze is the best.
I'm actually very surprised that we haven't seen any Shen so far today. We didn't see a Shen picker ban last game, but that was part of the strategy. Having the Braum was crucial, and picking the Nautilus away from Vermilia was absolutely necessary. So looks like the Alistar is probably going to be the first pick here for Billy Boss.
That's surprising me because Shen and Nautilus are both still up right now, and I feel like granted, it's not an Acadian-style champion. I wouldn't really want to see him either of those champs either, but we'll see what the choice ends up being. I love the Tryndamere helper. I think it's a great choice. Not necessarily to pick. I wouldn't pick it this early, especially against Alistar. Just generally very disruptive champions tend to wreck melee carries, especially auto-attack-centric ones. But the hover is still fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's just giving a shout-out to his champion pool. He's like, you have to think about this at all times. I might last pick this.
Now, keep in mind, Yasuo is now left up on the table. It was banned yesterday by Vortex. There's actually a chance that comes through maybe later on in the composition.
So the bans yesterday were Ezreal, Sivir, and Yasuo against Winterfox. All of those left up right now. I don't expect them to take the Ezreal very early on if they are going to pick it, or the Yasuo. So that's more important. Well, the Sivir's the only one that's actually banned again.
And keep in mind with they grab the Ezreal now. Yeah, sure. Because keep in mind, I mean, there's no chance that Vortex picks Braum anymore. So I think this is totally safe to pick early on. Also, you can flex the Ezreal anyway.
That's true. You can flex the Ezreal, but there's always that risk of just picking the Maokai.
I'm personally okay with it. I think it's okay, especially if you're trying to save your other solo lanes for counterpick. This allows Acadian to get a lane. Now, to be fair, they could have picked it later, but it allows Acadian to get a lane counterpick, and it allows your bot lane to get a chance to see their entire bot lane.
If you're afraid of Bijou playing it, then I understand it.
Right. That's the thought.
Just to take it away from him, but he's also a Varus player, so he has no problem playing multiple poke champions.
Yeah, I guess the more I think about it, the more I'm like, definitely this is the right choice. Okay. I could just see the logic is all.
Okay.
I'm not like vehemently against it. I
gotcha.
I think it's an acceptable choice. We'll see what happens. This is going to be a rough matchup though. Going for the Victor is definitely a strong lane matchup into these more defenseless champions. Victor, a great trader. Ku back on Nidalee as well. So there's actually a fair bit of pressure here in this lane. They can do a lot of damage to the Ezreal, but they can't lock him down.
Yeah, and also Nidalee's really good against Ezreal because you always get into the poke pattern where you're both poking each other, and you get to heal a little bit of his poke up on your teammates. So it's a good pick. You get vision control a lot of the jungle as well, and Runeglaive is buffed on this patch.
Yeah, so she's, I agree, kind of one of those top-tier junglers for sure. I'd like to see her a lot more competitive. I think even more than we saw her before because she's just strictly better, essentially.
It's not like Rylai's Crystal Scepter on Rumble, where it's okay, or the Iceborne Gauntlet on Ezreal,
where it's
strictly weaker.
It is literally a weaker item now. There is no word in which this item got better. Meanwhile, though,
that just means it stays the same. There's some situations where it's worse.
Sure.
I'm still bringing it back.
Okay, whatever. Expected value of Iceborne Gauntlet is down in League of Legends. Is that a better format for you?
If there are more
slows. No, the expected value of Iceborne Gauntlet in League of Legends is down. Period. That accounts for everything. It literally says average case. So either way, picks and bans still happening. Ashe Thresh for the bottom lane. We do not see much Ashe except, you know, fairly recently we've seen a couple of Ashe players. It's mostly Pinoy, but I like Ashe with poke comps. The stun into all the damage that comes through from poke champions because poke tends to be pretty bursty right now. Thresh keeps Ashe safe. I think it's a strong lane.
Well, also, Pinoy is the shot caller of the team. Shot caller.
Go!
That's how you start the fights. That's when you know your team is going to fight and they're going to follow you up. Or you're like, you guys are idiots. That's a 3.5-second stun. Jump on that.
Land your skill shots, boys. It's not that hard. And here we go. Last few picks. Vortex, though, pick a very volatile bottom lane. Unless your Flays are godly and you stop Alistar, Graves, Alistar, real scary bot lane against, especially against one of these squishy-er bot lanes of Ashe Thresh. That does make it a little bit risky here. Meanwhile, top lane Hecarim, also a pretty rough matchup, and Winterfox, true to the form, are going to let Acadian counterpick that Hecarim.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Hecarim top in a while.
Yeah.
It was a champion that was extremely popular just for the lane dominance. Then everybody realized you play Gnar into it, and everybody got better at Gnar, and then it just fell to the wayside. And it's Billy Boss's favorite champion in the top lanes. His #1 in solo queue. But then Acadian...
Yeah, it's either top Jarvan or top Lee Sin. Most likely top Jarvan.
It's probably top Jarvan. There's actually a lot of top Jarvan players in the top of Challenger. It's actually very surprising when you look at people like Move. You look at Phoenix. You look at people who's... Or Keen. Keen's #1 in solo queue is Jarvan mid. There's all these people who just like playing Jarvan to snowball a game. And then they're like, okay, I'm either winning in 20 minutes or I'm losing in 20 minutes. But
that's like full Korean status, by the way. That's just how Korean solo queue works. So they just brought the habits back over. So this is interesting. Back when Olaf was popular, Olaf ran Ghost all the time, and Jarvan was considered a counter because even though he could be CC immune, he couldn't get through the walls. Hecarim does not bring Flash. Yeah, neither does Singed, right? Hecarim does not bring Flash, meaning if you Cataclysm, he can either land a really good E and jump over himself, which is unlikely, or he has to ult out and trade ult for ult in a non-damage case. So I think there's a really good likelihood that Jarvan is actually a good matchup into Hecarim.
Yeah, I would believe it. I feel like your damages also are about the same for a good portion of the game.
Yeah. Long duration traits are definitely Hecarim flavored.
Yeah, it's very like bursty where you get the martial...
Yeah, you get the martial cadence, you get the armor shred, you get the knockup, but then you got to get away from Hecarim before he kills you back. So if Acadian can control the duration of the engagements, or have good gank assistance pre-6, it's Billy Boss has to like TP out of the gank to live.
Yeah, you gotta be scared though.
Also with keeping in mind, Arcsecond is the only magic damage on this team now.
He's usually more than enough though.
Sure, and I mean, you're AP Ezreal,
yeah,
so
actually I can't.
Is he? I mean, yeah, he's running Smite, so he's
AP Ezreal. We gotta check that now.
I mean, yeah, I got blindsided by it last time, so always something worth thinking about. Actually, I want to point out that Arcsecond is running magic resist glyphs here, so no CDR per level, which will lower his spam, but it will keep him in a much better spot against Victor.
That just seems like Arcsecond's style. Seems like the kind of guy who yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't die. When you have 6 losses and you die, you never die more than twice in them, you're pretty safe. You're that backliner. He's the Xerath, Ziggs, Ezreal player. He also has played some Azir, but he's always just hanging out in the back, making sure that he doesn't die. And he's never, he's almost never the reason that his team loses.
Yeah.
He's always a consistent damage force too.
Yeah.
Even back when he was on
TSM
Darkness.
Yeah. He was the only good player on that team, it seemed like. At least the only like good performing one. I don't want to necessarily say like the only good player, but he definitely had the best numbers on that roster. So let's see where we are. Ku and Billy Boss will be in the top jungle. They got wards that spotted all the major jungle entrance paths, and they will be able to successfully take away a large portion of this jungle. Their dual lane also starts Gromp on the top side, so Vortex will be able to pretty easily clear these jungles away.
That Raptor start.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that we see Raptor start. I really do like Raptor start, though, because it's really easy to get away from in case you get found. They share a lot of the golden experience. I think they made sure that Ku got the big Raptor, and looks like Billy Boss got the rest.
Yeah, with all their...
Pinoy did Wolves and are heading up to the top jungle. Ooh, this is going to be probably a bad fight for Winterfox. They're against... Oh, low Pellies too. This gets better. Oh, the hook! And this is the flashless Hecarim.
He has Phreak too.
Oh, he's so done. First blood Pinoy. Wow, Hecarim walked right into it.
Ooh, man.
Oh, man.
Ko just ran for the hills there,
Why didn't they just take Krugs together and walk left? That's such a weird risk.
Oh, man.
All right, what a great start for Winterfox, though. Sugar Ace able to take away what else he's kind of earned himself in the jungle. And we are in matched lanes right now, by the way, so...
Yep, Billy Boss, though, uses his TP. Acadian gets to poke him a bit. And Billy Boss just gets to come back with boots. That's really the only good thing going for him now, is that he got to have a back already and TP in. And he didn't miss too much CS because he got pushed into his turret by Acadian.
All right. True that. Well, we sit at a 500 gold lead for Winterfox here, and look like their bot lane's going to be, or their duo lane, I should say, is going to be just fine and happy here. Easy CS onto the turret. We matched 10 to 17, but the first blood gold, of course, worth it, so their first back's just going to be better.
You gotta be careful here. Shorter Ace is on this side. Could make a play for Billy Boss.
And you can see, right, there's those medium duration trades where it's much better for Billy Boss, but does not get queued, so life is going to be okay.
Cadian's just going to try to keep shoving this wave up, but he has to make it equalize at some point here. Because he's got to be afraid of where Ku's going to come in. Cadian's going to back. He's going to try to equalize this purchase and use his TP. Which I think is the right thing to do right now, because you want to spend that money.
That's the Pulverized Flame nearly put Saskio in turret range. Thresh Hook was still down. If he had Hook, that would have been probably 400 damage that Saskio took right there.
Yeah, it looked like he just Saskio went up because the Hook was down.
Yeah,
he had that window of pressure where he was able to just walk up.
Yeah,
it's the best time to approach a Thresh.
Yep. I mean, that's how melee versus ranged matchups work, by the way, is like, if your melee fails the engage, they're guaranteed to take poke. But if you're ranged, you never poke, you like really never get to abuse the fact that you're ranged in the matchup. So it's this weird song and dance of are cooldowns up or down, yes, no. Now, Billy Boss in a rough spot here. He does not have any wards and he does not have flash. This is the makings of a Lee Sin gank, but he doesn't get killed during that exact time frame. And he's able to walk away and recall and buy some items without teleport, though.
Cadian had to use his or just 2 long swords. Billy Boss backs, and I assume it's a boot rush for home guard at some point.
Ninja Tabby early, yeah. Want to see Cloth Hammer from this guy?
He hasn't purchased, though. He's walked back.
Okay, full Ninja Tabby. There you go. No potions were allowed to be afforded here, but it's just a full Ninja Tabby, and then, yeah, makings of home guard. I do like home guard in a lot of top lane matches, especially brawler-based ones, because you can recall and get back to your lane with full health.
Yeah.
Without really many CS loss, especially if you have the push lead, because you can shove in the wave, then do it.
Oh, gonna face check Ku. Probably in here the entire time.
Ooh, good flash.
Saskio.
And Saskio lost flash as well, so a trade of summoners. Shorter Ace.
He hit Ku with that.
Yep, jumps the wall. Half health on this Nidalee. Does have flash, has to use it. Shorter Ace can just simply lantern back out. Clear away pink ward. Oh, he lost his Raptor buff for it. But worth it because in comes Saskio yet again. Javelin puts low Pally to half, but no further damage can really be dealt here. A lot of pain coming through to Saskio. Pink stays alive for now. At some point they can clear it, I'm sure.
Bot matchup. It's just going to keep going in Billy Boss's favor now.
Looks like an Acadian.
The Ninja Tabby are really good. Acadian, he has a level 6 advantage.
Yeah, but he's basically out of flask charges now, so Acadian's on his last leg regen-wise. This might be
he's got 3 potions
away. Oh, he's also level 6 here, but yeah, so is Hecarim, so... You're right, he has potions, so that shouldn't be too bad, but...
It just doesn't feel good to be pushed off your minion wave as a Jarvan. You need to keep using your Q to even CS.
And as soon as you you can no longer trade at all, and it gets even worse for you, so...
Yep.
But Billy Boss, unable to make it become a freeze, means he cannot really deny too much. Not a lot of CS is lost, and Acadian will last pretty easily. Looks like Hecarim recalled just outside of sight range, so there will not be Acadian stopping him. He's going to let him go back.
Home guard?
It's got, home guard money, and we'll see. I wonder if he loses any CS at all from this. We'll see if there's 6 minions in the wave afterwards. I can track it. We don't need the observers to do it. I can do it if you need.
Yeah, people stopped playing Hecarim when home guards became
1 melee minion lost.
Multiplicative as opposed to additive for his E.
Yep, he lost a minion for a recall. That's pretty damn good. Shorter Ace though, jeez. That's some damage right there.
You just go over the wall and you flail everywhere.
But it cost him
Throw a Q.
A ward that he purchased. His trinket was already on cooldown, so that's 75 gold lost for that invade. It's practically like he stole a camp from him. But Ku low on health, loses Raptor buff, can't clear the ward himself. Low Pally actually, despite getting the assist, he bought Moby Boots, so he couldn't afford a Sight Stone yet. Just buying his wards here. Really going to one-shot Shorter Ace. Goodbye. Ignite is on.
What?
No Lantern for Low Pally. It was actually on cooldown. He used it earlier. That means the Blue Buff is going to work pretty securely here. The Home Guard recall for Billy Boss. He still has ulti, by the way. Oh, good smite by Ku. Blue buff secured.
I'm really surprised the Arc Second wasn't showing up to that, even just to smite it or be secure in that.
Smite was on cooldown, though, so I think he only had
he's trying to use it to wave clear.
Yeah? Generally, that's fine.
Yeah. I probably would have done it in reverse order. Ulti the wave, and then save your smite for the true damage on the...
Yeah, to secure like a blue buff because you know it's coming up.
Yeah, on the blue.
Yeah, I feel that. I do. So Maybe a small miscue then from Arc Second. Could have planned his cooldowns better, but of course a very good evade by Vortex, all said and done. Now,
yeah, they didn't have the ward coverage at all, and that's what allowed Billy Boss in. Billy Boss didn't even have to use his ultimate for that, and that's probably why Arc Second didn't walk up there.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty dead Ezreal. Victor 6, Hecarim 6. Yeah, good luck being a backliner at that point. So keep in mind that we talked about Ezreal teams being able to be abused in North America and teams generally being good at engaging on them. Well, Hecarim came back and Victor's here and Alistair Graves are here. So the burst and the backline dive exists to punish the very squishy backline of Winterfox. Shorter Ace looking to have another one of those weak games where he is the only death on his team. He's playing Lee Sin and is getting out-pressured.
Well, it's cool on Nidalee, which is a very early game pressured jungler in the first place. You see the damage he does in just this very quick burst. And Nidalee is honestly one of the main reasons that we don't see a lot of Lee Sin. The pressure that they apply and the fact that she's relevant later on in the game too.
We don't have the LCS big plays in this one. All right, Shredder Ace clearing Scuttle Crab on top of a pink ward, which means Ku says, don't you even freaking dare. It's going to be cleanly secured here by the Nidalee. So time and time again. The CS is the same, but gold-wise...
Low Pally.
That's still actually the same for the two junglers. Saskio played in, still has ulti though, no danger here. Veritas taking a bit of damage. Good flash to dodge out from Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Whew. He almost got paved back into it by the minion there.
That's true. But all
so close.
All right, but that is now a flashless Graves.
But nice flash, yeah.
Yeah, definitely something that could be abused. Lee Sin has gank power. He's got all his summoners that matter for combat up. And does have the ulti as well.
It's the jungle dance.
Oh! Sorry.
He's going to get a pink ward for it.
Short Race actually went for Blastic Smite on Lee Sin. We typically see Blue Smite, yeah, chilling primarily, but not happening here. Low Pally, just going to clear away the ward, but Vortex just consistently holding pressure. Winterfox still holding gold lead by 700.
Yeah, Ku is not afraid to go into the enemy jungle, and that's what it seemed to be this entire game. Both sides are not afraid to go into each other's jungle. Ku keeps walking up to Shorter Ace. We also saw Billy Boss walking up to Shorter Ace before. Even before that, Billy Boss was walking up in their own jungle at the very start.
Yep.
There's actually more Vortex is not afraid to go across the line.
Ooh. Arc Second gets a bad recall because this. He just cleared the wave, but good stop by Bishu.
Oh, Billy Boss TPing to the bot lane.
TP play on the bot lane. It's not getting answered, but he's got... What?
Saskio missed the headbutt pulverized combo.
Oh, man. That's actually really bad. That is a really important TP on cooldown. That said, Dragon's already gone, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it means Acadian, who is already winning his lane matchup by 20 minions by mid-game here, the full AD Jarvan, is going to have a partial wave denied as Billy Boss has to home guard back to his top lane.
So far, it's 2. He's going to miss about 3 CS for that. 4?
Depends if it's a cannon
4
or not.
at this point, yeah. Yeah, this is the cannon minion wave, so he actually, that previous one didn't have one.
Yep.
So he missed about 4 CS for that.
Alrighty, Arc Second. No mana on him. He's probably got a ton of money in his inventory. He's at 1,780 gold that he's not been able to recall and spend right now. That is completed Runeglaive.
Runeglaive and some change.
Yeah. All right, Shredder Ace. We'll get the second scuttler in a row here, so getting the income back in. Still just buying a ton of wards. That is Warrior Lee Sin, by the way, so we'll see if his gank pressure ends up improving now over time now that he's completed the item.
Winterfox and Sork Shoes.
Yeah. All right. So really low cooldown Ezreal build. Interesting. He will not get to spam any ultis, so his wave clear ults will be few and far between, then it risks him not having it up before the actual team fights. Can always be a bit of a threat. Billy Boss trying to bait Acadian into fighting him because Ku is right there.
Yeah, even if you get the Jarvan to use his Q, that's still a go sign, because then his gap closer is down for 4 seconds.
Well,
they're going to face check this.
Ah, Shorter didn't jump to him. I don't know if he would have gotten it, but it's a chance to kill the ward.
Yeah, Short Ace had his Raptor buff popped a second before that, too.
Yeah.
They're looking for a go right here.
All right, here's the attempt, but they know Short Ace is right around. This is a pretty risky attempt, but they will go in anyway. The Fear lands and a ton of burst. Down goes Acadian immediately, and he can't pop the Cataclysm down. Short Ace was forced to flash away. Ku, if he lands a Javelin, gets the kill. Not back up in time, but he's still trying for this one. 2 turret shots. Here's the choice.
He's gonna kill him.
Oh, the outplay. Short erase knocks him down.
Oh, the dodge up. And then the kill. Short erase. Yeah, it's some decent highlights before.
That was a bit over-aggressive by Ku.
Yeah, the flash javelin.
The 2 turret shots really was the big reason, I'm going to say. But the turret kill itself only ties up the gold here. Winterfox are winning in farm. The flash play, Veritas heals in the beginning. Ignite is on, and here comes TP Jarvan. Cannot be met. Acadia gets the kill. Thank you very much.
And the kill going over to him is very important because he needs to equalize some of these kills from Billy Boss in order to stay in this game. He's just going to become an AD carry squishy killer. He's going to be looking for Ku, Veritas, or Bishu at all points in this game. Honestly, as soon as Jarvan gets out of the laning phase and away from this Hecarim, it's a very good game for Jarvan. He just has to survive that point of the game, and he's done it really well.
Yeah, both these top laners are going to kind of have the same purpose as well in sort of their lives. Is press R, reach the back line, hope you burst him out. One's going Triforce tank, one's going full AD.
Oh, looking for the Bishu.
Short race is heading down as fast as he can.
Bishu.
Ooh.
No, we can't.
Walked sideways, easy peasy.
Whoop.
Billy Boss also dodged.
It's exact.
Just to make sure.
Pinoy can't catch a break with the arrows. They're flashed away. They're dodged away from. So blue invade coming in here. You want to deny the blue from the AP Ezreal as much as possible. And that just seems to be on the radar here for Vortex as a big objective for them.
Well, a lot of damage though. Short race revealed by the hunt.
If you get a hunt on this blue, you need to kill it. Oh wow. Nope, pulled away.
Smited by Ku. They don't give it to Bishu. They make sure that it gets secured. Javelins land again. Arc second, too low to continue here.
Yeah, Acadian on the top side of the map, clearing camps with his Tiamat is the reason that they didn't want to walk up and fight that. It was a 5-on-4 at best in favor of Vortex there.
It feels like a slight misplay though. Acadian could have knocked top lane down into the turret. They knew that Billy Boss was down on this side of the map, still without teleport. There was actually a lot of lane pressure opportunity missed here just for a couple jungle camps. Saskio continuing to fail headbutt pulverize attempts. And it means that Vortex are not having the same opening that they would hope for here. It's pretty much just been Billy Boss creating his own opportunities here.
Yeah, Billy Boss, he's also given up some opportunities as well. That first blood where he walked right back into the hook.
Sure.
Set up Winterfox for this game. It's 200 gold difference between them. But I feel like Acadian, the new top laner to the squad, it's his job to start opening up this map more. Bishu's walking around though. They see him, they're good. Oh! They didn't even get him.
Another arrow fails to land. Pino will get away. Hook on Veritas, but there's a headbutt pulverize. A 2-man. The burst comes through. 2 kills picked up. Good setup, good follow through.
The flash on the arrow. Did he even have vision of that? I don't even know if he had vision of that. He had to have predicted that that was what was going to happen.
Well, we'll get the replay of that for sure, but bot lane turret goes down, and Vortex now 3 turrets to 1, 4 kills to 3, 2,000 gold up. Life is good. Vortex looking poised to, if the game goes this way, take their first win of the split.
Yeah, just like Winterfox did yesterday. Winterfox won this matchup yesterday.
Very convincingly.
1-0 over them. We're going to have a 1-1 day for the first time in Challenger.
Oh, Arc second. Billy Boss is here.
Boom. Oh, it's no!
Chase gets the knockback, half HP. Lantern!
Oh no!
I think he's alive.
That.
Yeah. The shield didn't save him. Ignite was already done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I was sitting there and I'm like, he could have smited the Raptors on a fadeaway for some Trailblazer HP if he had died.
That's true.
I would have been like, that could have been played a little bit smoother. But he
I don't know if he could have reached the camp with his smite without taking extra Q from the Hecarim though.
The camp was already aggroed a little bit too.
Oh,
so
it was?
Over
Okay.
it.
Okay. It's like, I didn't know
Probably could have smited it.
Yeah.
But clicking the Lantern was his main priority.
And I'm glad he did that, because it kept him alive. Shorter race loses.
Yeah.
Okay, the Raptor buff. He kills a pink ward.
I'm being nitpicky over something that didn't even matter anyway.
Hey man, that's like literally 90% of my casting. Oh, 2-man pulverize headbutts Acadian into the team as well. EQ's out though. Sassio half HP. Pops the ult at 1/3 health. Yeah, this is already a very low health Alistair, but he's still going to get away with it. A lot of time lost.
Veritas.
Pinoy gets baited out by the choice of hitting the low health Alistair. Shorter race should not have taken that. Lee Syndrome gets him killed. 2 more kills for Vortex.
Sometimes you just got to take it. And Veritas having a really good game. He's about 30 CS up now, 20 CS, 23 over Pinoy. And he's got Bloodthirster and Sir Greaves. He's just using this Bloodthirster to blow people up. He's basically being an AD caster.
And, I mean, they are exploding people. I mean, it's going real well right now. So, the early Veritas burst, the Bloodthirster is happy. Bishu's got some burst. He's got a tier 1 upgraded, I believe, hex score. No, Mark 2, sorry. 2. Blue is Mark 2, I forgot.
Yeah, it's purple, yellow, blue, red.
Yeah. I just forgot between blue and yellow. Because they're like almost interchangeable. Like, it's based on the whims of the player, which one they go for. So, yep, tier 2. 2 rhymes with blue, by the way, if you need help with the naming convention. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, yellow does not rhyme with 1. Nor does purple with 3. But at least you got something. Arc second, 0-0-0. Just feels like an Arc second game. Losing in farm, though, like, I mean, as much as we say Arc second is never the reason he's winning the game or losing the game. Sorry, Arc second is never the reason he's losing the game. He's certainly having much less impact.
All right, let's see this. Okay, yeah, he did barely see it.
Yep.
Because his team walked up. Sasuke gave him vision of that play, despite there being a turret there. So really actually contributing a whole lot, because they kept full vision of Pinoy that allowed him to flash over that wall.
Yeah. All right, so there was the replay we're looking for. Vortex. 3,000 gold lead 20 minutes in. Decent sized advantage for these guys. It can be turned around. We've seen bigger comebacks, but
yeah, a Baron Steel gets you right back into this game. When you have 2 smites, it's never
a good team fight gets you back in. There's plenty of options available, but Winterfox.
When the AP Ezreal turns on even further.
Oh, arrow lands on Deku. That's a big one. Ezreal hits as well. Half HP. Flash play goes the wrong direction, and they don't knock down Q. A kick back into Veritas. The knockback, the chaos done from Acadian. Saskio. Oh God, Billy Boss sets it all up. The damage coming through from Bishu. Yes, please. Vortex, 3 kills already. Make that 4 the crit. Oh, dear Lord.
In the trees. He's sleeping in the trees.
Ouch.
Oh, man.
Ouch.
Oh, the flay away.
The fact that there was no follow-up by just freaking killing Q there, though. It was such a delayed reaction from everybody.
They didn't really have position to burst on. There were a lot of minions in the way, too. I don't know how much Arc Second could have actually thrown Qs at him and hit. But, oh, man. Billy Boss's flank. Well played there. It wasn't even a TP flank. He just galloped up to that 4-1 and 4. And there's a reason this is the champion he goes to in solo queue.
Yeah. Massive mid game for Vortex here. What a good team fight. Nearly an 8,000 gold lead now for these guys. They're in control of basically everything here. Phantom Dancer second for Veritas. The burst caster build, he's going to be fine with that one. Man, I don't know. It looks like it's going to get pretty hard for Winterfox to get back in because the front line is tanky enough. Like, Bishu's got Distortion Boots and Ghost Flash. Veritas is a Bloodthirster. There's already Mikhail's Crucible here for Saskio. Bought that first item after Sightstone. The whole like Ashen to Ezreal burst thing's not going to happen, especially with how far back Arc Second is. He's getting out CS. He's not getting kills and assists. He's just honestly a non-factor. As much as I want to like him as a player and how good he was in DSM Darkness, he had a good game where his team won.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about it too, because this Ezreal pick is usually really good against teams that don't have a lot of sustain. We have Bloodthirster first on Graves.
Yep.
You have an Alistar on your team for minor sustain.
Yeah, helps.
You have
Italy.
You have an Italy, exactly. And you have this Hecarim that's going to sustain off of waves as well.
That'll just dive the crap out of you. Whoop. All right.
So they're in a really good spot, your team composition-wise, to deal with what Arc Second is throwing out there. And Arc Second is going to need 2-3 items before he even starts to deal damage to this squad. That sticks. And even then, you have to be in a situation to continue the siege.
Yep, he's in the slow run towards the Rabadon's death cap here, sitting on only 1,200 gold, so he's nearly got the needlessly large rod. Arc Second slowly trying to scale on up, but he's not been able to tax his jungle very much. He's not really having that much income. And the AD Jarvan, I mean, he's gotten 2 kills. He's made some good plays. Last Whisper's coming up soon. So maybe Acadian gets more happening here, but we're really just not seeing the opportunity for the big plays here. The backline of Vortex is just honestly too durable.
We got to see this again here. Dodged. Here comes the arrow.
Right there.
Q.
Everyone can head over shorter race.
Yeah, there's minions in the way of Arc Second. He can't get an angle on the Q before the flash, or before the heal. And Veritas just gets done.
What a great
Billy!
stun by Saskio.
Billy!
Stuns 3 into Billy Boss with the easiest setup in his life.
Oh,
well, Saskio missed a lot of headbutt pulverizes early on in the game.
Made up for it there.
But he's had, 3 to 4 really big team fight winning ones in a row now.
All is forgiven. Saskio was 0-8 and 0 yesterday. Now he's 0-8.
Just moved it over by 1. He's like, guys, it was a punctuation problem. I fixed it.
He wasn't
the slash in the wrong place. We're good. Control X, Control V. We're fine now, boys.
Ideally,
another 1-1.
The perfect support score, and the other one's the perfect feeder score. You just changed around.
Great.
They're surprisingly very close.
I guess. 0 kills. I would say, like, yeah. No, I got nothing to say there. 7,000 gold lead, 24 minutes in. Definitely sizable here. We already had Renegades and Coast go 1-1. We're looking at the same thing now for Vortex and Winterfox, which just paints all kinds of interesting pictures. We actually had the same thing happen last time with the 5th and 6th place teams, with basically
CLG Black and TSM Darkness.
Yeah, CLG Black and TSM Darkness played a tiebreaker for basically. There's the arrow, there's the stun. Bishu does not have flash. That's exactly why I like Ashe and Ezreal together. That stuff happens. And that time around, Bishu's flash was down. There's still a minute roughly on that cooldown. If like the open map plays like that keep happening, Winterfox maybe have a way back in, but it's a long road ahead. They got a long, long way to go if they want to win this one. 3 dragons to 0. No turrets picked up for Winterfox, just the 1.
Yep.
So not no, but only 1.
Yeah, they have 1 turret. There's so much gold on the map left for them to take, but they are what you would call a pick composition. And when they keep trying to fight 5-on-5 like that,
yeah, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
They thankfully have the double sight stone, and with Ku not having a sight stone for himself, that makes it a little bit easier to have the vision lead you're looking for on Winterfox. And that's kind of the vision you need to make these picks. But yeah, with double sight stone, all they've been able to do is ward their own jungle here. It's completely dark on the bottom left side of the map. There's nothing like aggressive that Winterfox can safely do. Close to death cap here for Ku.
Another invade from Phreak. They're just trying to keep away from Arcsec. That's a big siege and wave player. Good idea there, and good management by Ku. And now the Baron just goes dark for Winterfox. Oh man. Wrath, Elixir of Wrath already for Acadian, so he's looking to have this spike to try and catch up to where everybody else is on the Vortex lineup.
I guess he senses a team fight's happening soon. We're around the era of Baron, keep in mind. 26 minutes in, when you've got 3 pretty big consistent damage sources, makes it likely. Shoulder is knocked back, but Low Pally finds a flay. Saskio does have flash, but pulled in, pops the ulti. Maybe the team fight starts. Here comes Hecarim, but here comes the rest of the team. The fear hits nobody, but Acadian knocked down pretty low. Big burst. Saskio ult is down. Here comes the backline to dive. They try to get Veritas. They don't get him, though. A trade kill in as they've knocked down the Hecarim. Is there going to be anything more happening? Short race, risky.
Take it. Oh.
Yeah, he took the lantern. Good job. 1 for 1. Top laners both go down, but the back line of Vortex is so incredibly low. It gives map control back to Winterfox here.
I don't know. Short race should have taken that.
If Alstred pulverized, the guy dies.
Well, he takes it and he kicks. And he buffers his kick.
If you get pulverized, you don't get your kick buffer though, because you have to. I don't think you can R while queuing. You can W while queuing. So I don't think there's any way for him to do that without breaking through pulverize. And you never just like go into an Alistair.
Should just done it.
He shouldn't have done that.
He should just done it.
This is why you failed your master promos.
Oh my god.
Too low?
You're gonna bring
low
that
blow?
up again?
Low blow?
Again?
At least you made master promos. That's still better than 99.99% of League of Legends
But then
players.
it means that I'm still not good enough to be masters, whether or not you make promos.
I'm sorry, you're only top 0.1%. Only.
Oh, his pulverize wasn't even up.
You know what? Shh.
Yeah, it was down 7 more seconds.
Okay, well then you're right. He should have taken it.
But did he have the energy for it? Ah, that is
probably. Everyone in Twitch chat is yelling, "Take my energy!"
No, he did not have the energy.
Couldn't have taken it.
Nope.
And you played jungle. How dare you?
But if he had waited for that energy, he would have had enough. It would have been enough. But would Bishu's E have been up?
Oh my god, can you not?
I'm still watching it over and over again.
Okay.
All in all, he should have taken it. It's worth another kill. I'd do it.
Okay.
Get the lantern afterward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, I
actually appreciate that.
I find as much evidence as I possibly can for taking Lee Sin Qs, and then you know what would happen? He'd take it, and then he would have died.
Yeah.
Would have been like, what an idiot. Why would he do that?
That's what I said. That was my first theory here. Warrior Lee Sin, he's got no defensive stat. He's got a locket and a sight stone. That is such a squid. Oh god, Pinoy thankfully doesn't get hit by that. And this means that, wow.
Sakio is being aggressive.
Mikhail's used, but here comes Billy Boss. Pinoy, goodbye!
And they're just letting Billy Boss into the back line
and
every
race
time.
In a real bad spot. Stops for the Q, which means that Bishu gets back in range. He should not have thrown the first Q out. The inverse of Lee Syndrome. Slowed him down enough for Bishu to get into range. Ghost was on, so maybe he still dies, but still.
10k gold advantage for Vortex, and they're ready to take this Baron.
And here comes the attempt. Two big champions down, the Ashe and the Smite Holder here. The other one, Arc Second, would be tasked to do it. And he's not even gonna bother here. Baron gonna be a clean, secure, true shot. Barrage is even down, 0 chance of a steal. There you go. Good times for Vortex, sitting on a sizable 10,000 gold lead with a Baron buff.
And this is really showing just this week how equal these teams are in the standings and how well the standings reflect where they actually are.
Yeah.
Because these are the bottom 2 teams. And if they're splitting 1-1, and this is the first 1-1 split in Challenger, it means they're probably the bottom 2 teams.
Yeah.
You saw top 2, Renegades and Coast, split series. So it probably means that they're number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The game after this one's the middle of the pack. That's the one that might be able to upset it. The one that might be able to say, hey, we are a top team.
Yeah, well, Team Imagine won the first time around. And Imagine has still, no, sorry, C9T has yet to play Coast here, so that could be another fun one.
Yep.
But yeah, those top 4 are definitely pretty close together in overall power. Also keep in mind, when Renegades played C9T, C9T did not have their starting mid laner of Yasui. So there's even more to think about in terms of those battles. So the top 4 definitely are a very, very close battle. It's going to make the playoffs very interesting to watch. Also keep in mind that if Vortex does win this game, C9T are in for the playoffs, for sure. Because C9T already sit on 4 wins right now, which means they could not be caught by either Winterfox or Vortex here. So C9T kind of would like to see Vortex win. It would secure them as the 3rd playoff team here.
Woo! Shorter Ace. Just trying to get a
4th Dragon in a row. Shorter Ace too squishy to do anything.
Special
and
delivery to Pinoy.
Special delivery of Billy Boss gets Pinoy killed. Worst Lee Sin ult of your life.
Oh, Shorter.
Literally the worst Lee Sin ulti I've ever seen.
That is so mean.
It's true.
But it's true. Oh, I feel like that tilted you as an AD carry player. You're like, if you were Pinoy,
I would have typed ... in team chat. I would have just written ellipsis and just shaken my head. That would have been my response right there.
That's the passive aggressive. Just what was that?
I know it wasn't him intending to do it, but just you can't leave that alone.
He was freaking out. He had no flash. He needed to buy some time.
Take him instead. Yeah. Leave me alone.
He's still dying anyway. Oh, man. Sold him out.
Oh, he puts in Veritas, though. Yeah, there's the inverse, but Shorter Ace just gets wrecked right there. Kill goes to Ku. Into the back line they go. Acadian just barely survives. Pinoy saves the 7 heal for his teammate. Bishu, a bit overextended, healed up. One more hit. No, Pinoy can't quite reach him. Flashed away from the Billy Boss Fear, and it's still a 1 for 0.
Oh, man. This team comp is like half designed to dive in, half designed not to. Because you have the Ezreal who wants to poke and soften people up, but they have enough sustain to deal with that. So then you get to the point where you want to just hard engage. So you want to make the play with Jarvan, you want to make the play with Ashe and Lee Sin.
Yeah.
But you have an Ezreal.
So here's the weird thing is, so coming from an AD carry player perspective, I'm used to champions having pretty low burst, right? Graves and Ezreal being like the big ones. And I'm like, cool, I love those AD carries with dive comps because they're AD carries that can actually deal damage in the dive. And my first thought was seeing Ezreal in these compositions, oh, Ezreal too has burst. Ezreal fits this comp. But the more I'm seeing how much worse Ezreal is at this than like Victor and Ziggs and Cassiopeia, the more I realize Ezreal's not enough burst for this to be a good team composition. It doesn't seem to be enough upfront burst damage, or it takes too long to come in, or whatever it is. But Ezreal continually fails in these divey burst comps. Right, with Lee Sin and Jarvan being in this comp, it no longer fits the poke team anymore, where you can kite back. It's an in, and Ezreal's not in enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I maybe would have wanted a Gragas and Ziggs, but I know Ziggs was banned this game.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been a really good, well-rounded comp.
Yeah, if you want to play a more kite back team, that's fine, but Ooh, stun to Saskia, pops the ulti. That will be in a live Alistair. Not turning to ground beef just yet. Still a perfect score, by the way, 0-0-14.
Making up for it.
Yeah, make it also really high kill participation. 87.5% here. 7 of 8. Saskia looking for the play. He's going to get hooked under turret range, but he still gets the setup on a low pally, but maybe a bit over-aggressive. Has nowhere to go. Will be getting wrecked here. And into the back line they go. Billy Boss knocks one out. Saskia's still alive. And that's his third inhibitor kill. All 3 are down. Vortex shouldn't be able to push this one in for the win here. Acadia just not enough stats now to make these fights work any longer. Arc second very low. 1 Nexus turret down. It's the full fantasy point score. 11 turrets. Here comes the game-winning play. 34 minutes in. One last time. The Chaos Dunk knocks down one more. Ku's second death of the game. Acadian remains the kill leader with 3, but Bishu putting it all together. 6-1-8. Backline dive. Saskia, perfect score. 0-0-17. Vortex get the first win of Challenger.
And that secures Cloud9 a spot in top 4.
Yep.
Regardless of win or loss in the next game. But Vortex now 1-1 against Winterfox. We might see this be a tie-break match at the very end of Challenger.
Yeah.
For 5 and 6.
We might have multiple, actually, right? We're currently in a tie for first, currently in a tie for 5th. Definitely some interesting matches, though, still ahead. And, of course, we've got more coming up. But for now, we're going to talk about that match. And joining us to talk about that win is the Vortex top laner, Billy Boss. Billy Boss, man, welcome to the show. Congrats on a very nice win.
Thank you, Phreak and Zirene.
Billy! How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. We finally won a match. That's something fantastic, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, coming into that match, you got to think that that was going to be scary with Winterfox winning the first one and pretty convincingly. After that game, like, what did you think your chances were coming into game 2?
Just going by scrims, I think we were doing especially well with Saskia. It's just, I think that game, our draft in particular to theirs, like, really floundered, I would say. Their draft really, like, outcomped ours, and even though we were even most of the game, we just couldn't have control of the game ever. I think we just blundered a little first game, and second game showed how we truly, like, play, I would say.
So I got to ask you about this game. You guys started Raptors, and then you went to Red, and then you got caught. What was up there? Were you not expecting them to come through the lane at that point, or what was that?
Ko's a very aggressive person, and I sometimes don't, I'm not on the same page as him most of the time, so I wanted to back there in the bush, but Ko wanted me, I think, to do double golems, and then that miscommunication just led to that death, that unfortunate death, I would say. It was mostly my fault. I not making any excuses, but it was just very, yeah, it wasn't good.
All right, so I got to ask you, you guys have actually had a fair number of close games. Most specifically, I think your series against Coast was actually pretty solid. At least game 2 is pretty good. What's kind of kept you guys on such a slow start here?
I think a lot of it is from just we almost always get an early game, like not almost always, but we get early game leads. We just don't translate it very well. Even that game, I was pinging the top tier 2 turret the whole time, and it took us like 20 minutes to actually take it in the end. So we do like get these early game leads. It's just people get a little the momentum like falters after like someone gets caught, and we don't keep our composure as a team, I would say, as well. I think it is getting better though.
All right, we'll see if that improvement leads you on to the future. You guys face Renegades next week, and theoretically, you've got a chance to make the playoffs if you 2-0 it. So how are you going to prepare for that matchup?
Well, I think, especially in the first game against Winterfox, we almost always hard go for a comp. And I think I'm one of the best, like, solo queue stats-wise, I think I'm one of the best Hecarim players. And we just always, like, go for comps, like, just pick these 5 champions together. Instead, I think we're going to be more versatile, and hopefully just playing our comfort champions will lead us to victory, I would say. And fixing our late game shot calling out too.
All right, well, we'll see if you guys can turn that around next week, because you got a tough road ahead of you. Maybe we'll see it happen. Billy Boss, thank you for joining us, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, well, guys, we're going to take one last break, but when we come back, it's time for our final match of the night as Team Imagine looks to clinch a playoff spot themselves if they can win against Cloud9 Tempest. Don't go anywhere.
I like the Superman shirt.
Yeah.
His dive shirt.
It's very solid.
Ready to go.
Still got killed for first blood, though.
Who cares?
Kryptonite threshold.
Another arrow fails to land. Pino will get away. Hook on Veritas, but there's a headbutt pull, Bryce. A two-man. The burst comes through. 2 kills picked up. The knockback, the chaos done from Acadian. Saskio, oh god, Billy Boss sets it all up. Short race too squishy to do anything.
Special
and
delivery
oh god,
to Pinoy.
special delivery of Billy Boss gets Pinoy killed. Here comes the game-winning play. 34 minutes in, one last time. The chaos dunk knocks down one more. Ku's second death of the game.